Good morning from Brussels, and my thanks to Prime Minister Karins, President Secretary General 𝐩𝐫𝐢𝐯, and Vice Admiral Robinson for hosting the 4th NATO Resilience Symposium. My thanks also go to Minister of Defense Murnițe. Also thank you for your warm words of welcoming and for inviting me to speak today. Vice Admiral, you and your excellent team at ACT are working tirelessly to future-proof this alliance, and resilience is an integral part of this effort. The last few years have clearly demonstrated how strengthening our resilience is not a luxury. It is a necessity. It is appropriate that the symposium is being held in Latvia. Latvia makes important contributions to our shared security. You lead by example on defense spending, committing more than 2% of GDP to defense and investing in major equipment. Latvia contributes actively to regional exercises, ensuring our forces are well trained and well prepared. And you provide expertise on strategic communications, which includes countering disinformation through the NATO Center of Excellence here in Riga. And of course, Latvia hosts the 11 allies of the multinational battle group in 𝐒𝐢𝐦𝐻𝐫𝐢𝐻𝐾, and I remember fondly visiting, together with my friends in NATO, the Canadian-led battle group in your great nation. These forces send a clear message. An attack on one ally is an attack on all. Latvia is also providing significant support to Ukraine, exceeding 1% of its GDP, which includes a wide range of military equipment and humanitarian and political support. Latvia's comprehensive national defense approach showcases the critical linkage between resilience and deterrence and defense. This approach is aligned with the spirit and intent of NATO's founding document, the Washington Treaty, signed in 1949. For almost 75 years, allies have been committed to self-help and mutual aid to resist armed attack, or in other words, to strengthen our resilience. That commitment to resilience, to protecting our citizens and defending our territory, remains steadfast, more so than ever in the shadow of Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine. Allies are united in their determination to stay the course and support Ukraine for as long as it takes. We are also determined to support other partner countries threatened by Russia's actions, in particular Bosnia and Herzegovina, Georgia, and the Republic of Moldova. For if Russia wins in Ukraine, it will not stop there. Since Russia's first invasion of Ukraine in 2014, when it illegally annexed Crimea and a portion of the Donbass, NATO has supported Ukraine to become not only stronger militarily, but also a stronger, more resilient society. When President Putin first ordered his tanks to roll across the border, he expected Kiev to fall within days, and the rest of the country to follow in a matter of weeks. He was wrong. He underestimated the resilience of Ukraine and of the Ukrainian people. This shows how important resilience is. By boosting our ability to prevent, to persevere, and bounce back from attacks of all forms, we reduce the chances of them happening in the first place. Since last May, when I addressed the NATO Resilience Symposium in Warsaw, we have seen a number of developments that have a significant impact on NATO's resilience. NATO's latest strategic concept, agreed last summer in Madrid, recognizes resilience as an essential enabler of the alliance's three core tasks: deterrence and defense, crisis prevention and management, and cooperative security. Earlier this year, NATO and the European Union signed the third NATO-EU joint declaration. This further advanced our partnership, which is strategic across so many big number of areas, but also including resilience and the protection of critical infrastructure. Delivering on these words, NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen set up a joint task force, NATO-EU, on resilience of critical infrastructure. The task force, which met again earlier this week, brings together senior officials from both organizations to share best practices, situational awareness, and develop principles to make our societies stronger and safer. Earlier this month, we welcomed Finland as a fully fledged member of our alliance, and Sweden, I'm confident, will soon follow. Finland and Sweden's membership transforms the security of the Baltic region, and both countries bring great knowledge, expertise, and experience in building resilience. Resilience will be high on the agenda of the NATO's upcoming summit in Vilnius. Ensuring our national collective resilience underpins our efforts to safeguard our nations, our societies, and our shared values. We take this task very seriously. Last year in Warsaw, panelists identified unity of effort, building resilience by design, and projecting resilience beyond the alliance's borders as key elements for NATO to focus on. These elements are now reflected in NATO's actions. First, allies established a senior resilience committee. This builds on our extensive experience, reaching back to the early 1950s, when NATO assumed the key role in supporting and promoting civil preparedness amongst allies. Second, our Secretary General convened the first annual meeting of senior national officials responsible for national resilience. This unique forum reinforces political engagement and enables closer high-level consultations. And third, NATO and allies launched a process to develop collective resilience objectives, based on which each ally will later this year develop their own national resilience goals and implementation plans. In this way, NATO's framework helps allies strengthen our collective resilience by addressing their own needs while also strategic vulnerabilities and gaps. Related to this, allies have also agreed to launch a 4-year resilience planning and review cycle that will provide a structure for these efforts for years to come. So much has been already achieved, both collectively and nationally, but much remains to be done. At this symposium, you have a focused but important program ahead of you. You will talk about some of the key topics on NATO's agenda, from strengthening critical infrastructure and the security of supply, to emerging technologies and societal resilience. I'm confident this symposium will contribute to building an important community of interest and practice, deepening our understanding of the issues and generating important new ideas. I particularly encourage you to reflect on the lessons from Ukraine's resilience, including its resistance, which can inform our own preparedness. Last year I spoke about resilience being a team sport. This remains true, and this symposium is a great example of just that. It represents a unique opportunity for the resilience community to dedicate time and energy to sharing views and best practices, strengthening existing relationships, and forging new ones. Allied civil and military representatives, NATO staffs, like-minded partner organizations and countries, academia and think tanks, as well as industry and civil society, can and must all learn from one another. Our alliance is facing a dramatically changed, volatile, and contested international security environment. In this context, resilience is our first line of defense. It offers a handrail that guides policy, strategy, planning, and capability development, and helps us successfully navigate the challenges of today and the turbulent times of tomorrow. So thank you. I wish you a very, very successful symposium.